human beings are very terrible at heart.
This lady was just pushed down from a vehicle between the Chama Kuba Express.
Less than 4 minutes drive. It happened so fast, so quick. And before I could say anything, just put a hanky over my face.
In the hearts of Nigeria's cities teeming with life and ambitions, a remarkable story of survival and resilience unfolds. The story of stolen dreams, Nigeria's ugly battle with one chance.
This guy carry me. Once we just reach that, that Use, from that Use, say enter that Use express, they go Kubwa. Now this man divert too. I say, Oga, wetin dey happen? The man does change his story. I say, Oga, wetin dey happen with your car now? Before I go know, make the guy just come down from the bridge. Somebody from back does a carry knife, make it hit me for back. Now so I just turn. I say, Now one child, Now then after I come there, I say, and I one child victim I don't enter.
It has not been easy, honestly, especially with the current insecurity happening in the world. Abuja especially. So I've been a victim of one chance. I was coming back from work and I entered the cab. Unfortunately for me, they took me to where I don't even know. After snatching my bag, they pushed me out of the car. So if I should raise up my clothes, you'll see bruises on my laps.
Every day, there is a case of one chance. Every day, there is a case of hit and run.
Let's begin this journey with the victims, individuals from different walks of life, a smaller percentage of people who fell prey to one-chance gangs. They share their harrowing experiences, how they were lured into these traps, and the fear that gripped them during their ordeal.
I got to Beggar. I took a cab. I wanted to take a drop, but the guy was saying I shouldn't worry, that it's just take a while for the cab to get filled, that there was no need of taking drop to where I was going to. So I said, okay, there's no problem. So I got into the cab, and the cab was just fine. And we're just moving. So when we got to Katampe, he just said his car was overheating, that we should go into the next cab. I was like, I drive, for God's sake. I know when a cab or a car overheats, and I didn't see anything like that. Then he shouted at me that I wasn't the only one actually, where I was at the door side on the left, then a lady beside me and two guys on the other side and two guys in front too. So he said that, am I the owner of the car? That is his car, that if I don't want to, if I should just drop, he doesn't care about the money, I should just take another one, that his car cannot go anymore. That can't I see, I should go and take the next one in front. So I said, you are telling me to take the next one in front. Do you know where I'm going? The driver, does the driver know where I'm going to, that you're telling me to take the one in front? I said, can't I hear that the driver is calling the same place that I'm going to? I said, I don't just want any other complaint or anything, so I took the other one. But before I got there, the only thing I noticed, I thought it was just normal. The only thing I noticed was that the two guys beside me went into the same cab and took the other side of the door. Then I and the other lady entered. We were in the middle. Then the last guy took the door side, and that was how we're going. Then the one in front said he was going to alight at Gwarimpa. It happened. And the other one too. And another one. So we're now like the two girls, I and the other lady. And then later the lady started making a call that she wanted to drop at Gwarimpa. She already passed where she was going to. The phone was on speaker. And she actually dropped because she was already describing the car that she was to somebody. Then she dropped. So normally I was going to Duse. So before, I now noticed that everybody, when they were dropping, they were not picking any other person on the road. I was now wondering, people are dropping, you're not picking other people on the road. So I asked the driver, why are you not picking up people? He said he needs to get home faster. He had already collected money for full load, so why should he disturb himself picking up people? I was still kind of relaxed, but I was trying to be vigilant. So on getting to Duse, normally he would just, slow down, or maybe if anybody wants to drop or something. The next thing I just noticed was the person in front dropped. What I just noticed was that, the person on my side dropped. The person in front just pressed the front seat backwards. And before I could say anything, just put a hanky over my face. Because maybe I was asking too many questions, I could just cause things, and that was it. I just passed out.
I've experienced them twice actually. The first experience was when I was in Lagos, sometime last year. So I was working on a movie project at the time on the island. It was a 7-passenger kind of vehicle, and there were already 6 inside. I was very tired and I needed to just get back so I could relax my head before we start filming the following morning. And that was it. When I got into the vehicle, I realized that they were taking a separate route from the one I had expected them to take. I told them to halt, that I wanted to alight. They weren't having it. There were 2 guys beside me, one to my left and one to my right. While I was yelling for the driver to stop, I was trying to rescue them because one of them was trying to hold me to my seat. And the one to my left landed a blow on my jaw. And that was the last thing I remembered.
I went to my regular bus stop, Ministers Hill Junction, to pick a cab. I mean, it's my regular route, so you won't suspect anything happening, right? So I stopped this green vehicle that was going to Area 1, and then I entered. I remember when I entered the vehicle, they had like 4 men tightly packed behind, but I didn't care because I was sitting in the front with this robust-looking lady. The seat was very tight, and then she was complaining to the driver, and then he asked me to use the release lever that is just under the car seat to move the seat back so we'll have enough space. And then I was trying to do that. I think that was when the distraction happened because I can't remember the exact time where my possessions were taken. So I was trying to do that, and then it wasn't working. So I was complaining to him, "Okay, this thing is not working now." And then the lady said, "Let me help you." And then she leaned over, stretched her hands, and she was trying to help me, but it wasn't moving. Then she told the driver, "This stuff is not moving, no." But if I think about it now, I remember she had this like weird smirk on her face. But I didn't even think much about it, right? So we had just moved from Ministers Hill Junction to Nikon Junction. It's less than 4 minutes drive. I think that was when everything happened. It happened so fast, so quick. So when you're even thinking, like, I'm asking myself like, how didn't I even notice? Was I hypnotized or what? Because I didn't even hear the sound of my backpack opening or anything. So the driver just pulled over just by the Nikon bridge, and then he said, "Madam, I think you will come down." I said, "Why?" He said, "The seat is too tight. Enter another one to Area 1. Don't bother paying." And so I came down, and then I took another vehicle to Area 1. So when I got to the office, I realized that I was not with my phone, and then I was thinking, that was my iPhone. I was thinking, did I leave it at home? And then I opened my backpack. I realized my cash was gone, my phone was gone, and that was when it just occurred to me that, oh my God, something has happened to you.
We're going to deliver water with our vehicle, and we met there's this tree around this Apple Mechanic Road, Kabusa Apple Road, and there's this tree along the road. So people gathered, and next thing, we were hearing sounds of like something that sounded like gunshots. We asked these guys, the Okada guys, what was that sound? What was happening? They say, no, it's tire, someone's tire that busted out sound. So we say, okay, no problem, let's continue going. Just few minutes after, and we started hearing, calm down, and then started seeing gunshots directed at our direction, and that was when we realized that it was a robbing situation, or at that time we didn't know it was kidnap. We just thought maybe they wanted to rob us. So I told the boy to reverse. He just froze, and I was the one that had to push the gear to make sure it was on reverse, and he tried to reverse. we entered into a ditch and putting it on acceleration, and we didn't know if it was even accelerator putting or neutral. So anyways, we just the car couldn't move anymore, so that's how they caught up with us, and they were shooting on the ground beside us, so we should lie down. That was the first time I was like close to gun being shot.
At the surface, it is just one of those attacks. But these stories speak of lost dreams, loss of career, and in some cases, lives were even lost. Like Jogsy Otto, a budding filmmaker whose dream was cut short.
I was very, very traumatized.
After that incident happened, I had to quit that job. I just couldn't see myself going to that place.
My hand was dislocated. I didn't feel all the pain at that moment. I did my welcome back, my SIM and all. On fixing the SIM into a phone, I was like, oh, the debit alerts were just coming in.
It was so bad for me to have remembered my ex's phone number and called her. Then it was really that bad, So I called her to call one or two people that, like mutual friends that we knew, that I felt could raise some money to pay them. They heard my mom had collapsed, at the point. My prayer all through the time was, let nothing happen to my mom. I was not worried about my own life or anything at that moment. The first time that a tear dropped from my eye was when I heard my mom's voice.
Some victims emerged from their traumatic experiences with a new lease on life. Some became more apprehensive at any given time, while others go about with some personal protective equipment.
What actually helped me to an extent is seeking therapy. I spoke with a friend and he said I should just see a therapist because I was already having this terrible phobia for vehicles. If I get to, while I was coming, if I get to a park now and I have two persons inside the vehicle, that will not board.
I have pepper spray, I have taser, the one that looks like a pistol. I have the one that looks like a lipstick. It depends on the kind of bag I'm carrying, so I just put them inside. Immediately I just see that anything is not right, I use it. I don't want to know if you are innocent or not. I just use it.
Abuja is not as safe as it used to be. It's very volatile. Wherever you are in Abuja, as much as possible, whatever you want to do, try and make sure that latest by 8 you are home.
But security operatives urged their concerns on the legality of going about with some of these equipment.
Seeing a knife or a gun or tear gas in somebody's vehicle could be meant for self-defense and could be meant for criminal intentions. So I think the best people that can describe this for you well, I think it's the Nigerian police, not the road safety.
The only security tips I can give you is be mindful of your environment. Secure your environment. Be conscious of the kind of vehicles you board, and always board vehicles at approved parks, and always have our emergency numbers handy. You call the police. I will not advise you to go carrying weapons. It's like you're taking the laws into your hands. So it's good to be conscious of your environment and be careful and follow up these tips that I give you. You'll be safe.
However, there are ongoing efforts by the police and other law enforcement agencies to bring one-chance gangs to justice. We witnessed their tireless work from investigations to arrests and the legal battles that follow. However, Nigerians still hold back and are adamant in approaching the law enforcement agencies. They question the effectiveness of the security agencies in the delivery of their job.
I do not trust the law enforcement agencies we have. I don't know if that should count as a mistake on my part or a call to them to do more, because I am not alone in this belief or distrust. I don't believe that they do their job diligently enough. I've read stories about how somebody reached out to the police, for instance, for help, to help them retrieve what was stolen or what was lost, and then they end up extorting that person more. I was just bent on trying to heal myself and then start off from the scratch.
I did report to the police because, I have a good friend of mine whose phone was stolen and he paid 50,000 naira for it to be recovered. Up to today, nothing was done.
Truth be told, if where we went to, I don't think police will have found us.
I don't even like talking about this police thing because the reason being that I'm going there for help, and for somebody that I've lost everything, my whole account was wiped. I know how much I was asked to pay. I was asked to pay a whole lot of money. We are going to trace these people. We are going to do that. I just looked at it that I'm coming to report. They are telling me that why didn't they report when it happened? I just told you I spent 2 days with them. They didn't know where I was. And the day they went to report, my sister went to report that I didn't come back home. They told her that it's not 24 hours yet, so they cannot declare me missing. So nothing was done.
As we near the end of our journey, we reflect on the future. What steps can be taken to prevent one-chance incidents in Abuja and beyond? What can we learn from the past and the resilience of those who survived? The law enforcement agency has an advice.
Be mindful of where you board your vehicle. Board vehicles at the approved parks. And watch out for these kind of vehicles. They are always tinted, and you always see about 3 to 2 occupants inside, and there will always be a female inside. And the last chance is that you. That is why you see people calling it one chance. You reporting to the police is very important. When you fall victim of such robbery, if you survive it, you report to the police so that police can investigate, try to get these people. You're reporting, you are trying to save others, not to fall victims. Your experience is needed to help us in whatever we are doing to wipe these criminals out of the Federal Capital Territory. So it is good for you to come forward and share your own experience and give the police some details that will help us to get these people.